Hello, alchemists! Thanks for joining me, Lonehawk, for this episode of Road to Mythic. Deck tech and gameplay for Magic the Gathering, Arena, Alchemy, Best of 1. I'll keep the introduction to the deck brief, leaving it to the gameplay to show how the cards work together. I'm labeling which games show which cards in the timeline, as well as the video notes, so check those out to get to the parts you're most interested in. I'll wrap up with a review and what I took away from the gameplay. And with that, let's get to the deck. Today's deck is a dinosaur or two. It starts out with the ramp, because dinosaurs are expensive. There is kind of a standard green ramp package for Alchemy. Starting with the Belated Halfling, it gives you one colorless or one of any color when casting a legendary spell. So we get quick out of the gate with that. Then next turn, ideally, if we've got Gwenna, we drop her, and she adds 2 mana in any combination of colors for creature spells only. Oh, creature spells or creature abilities. And the big thing is, whenever you cast a creature spell with power 5 or greater, put a +1/+1 counter on Gwenna and untap it. So she can easily contribute 4 or even sometimes 6 mana to creatures, gets bigger, and then can still swing. It is a killer card, especially when you can drop it on turn 2. And then the third part of the package is Up the Beanstalk. It is an enchantment that gets you a card when you cast it and whenever you cast a spell with mana value 5 or greater. And with dinosaurs, they have power greater than 5 and cost greater than 5 all the time. We're playing a smattering of dinosaurs, and also the new tribal card, Roaming Throne. It's a 4/4 that takes on a creature type and then becomes that type. It's warded, so it's sticky, and if a triggered ability of another creature you control of the chosen type goes off, it triggers an additional time, which can get wild for us. Along the dinosaurs, well, I'll just mention which ones we're playing. I crafted an Etali finally. It's looking worthwhile. You see it in play all the time, so I don't think it's a bad craft, and it's rare. I've got a copy of Tyrranax Rex that we're trying out. Kogla Yidaro gives us some enchantment control as well as creature control sometimes, and can also get trample and haste. So it's a real Swiss Army knife. We've got Palani's Hatcher, which also creates a couple of eggs, which it turns into dinosaurs on the turn it comes in and the subsequent turn, and gives them haste. So then we've got the big star, the Bonehoard Dracosaur, which we can drop on turn 3 sometimes if we get that acceleration. It's a 5/5 flying first strike that at the beginning of your upkeep exiles 2 cards that you can play, and then if one of them's a land, you get a 3/1 dinosaur. If one of them's a non-land, you get a treasure token. So you get one or the other, and sometimes both. We've got Hulking Raptor that gives you 2 mana at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase. It's not a 5 mana cost creature, but it is a 5 power creature. And we've got Pugnacious Hammerskull and Itzquinth, Firstborn of Gishath, which kind of round out our dinosaurs. And then a dinosaur card, Triumphant Chomp, which deals damage to a creature equal to 2 or the highest power among dinosaurs you have, whichever is greater. So it can deal a ton of damage. With that, let's get to the gameplay. 2 Delighted Halflings, only Pain lands, but we got the Pugnacious Hammerskull for turn 3. I like it. We will go with it. Opponent starts short. Have been seeing a lot of mulligans lately. Probably a consequence of the new set. People throwing together things that maybe work, maybe don't. Well, that's pretty cool. That is a legendary as well. Okay, we'll do a green with this and bring the Firstborn of Gishath. We're just going to call that the Firstborn. And next to combat, and we can attack with both of them, so why not? And we will bring out the other Delighted Halfling. And I'd say we successfully ramped this time. Going into the cards, Pugnacious Hammerskull is a 6/6 for 3, but with the drawback that if it attacks while you don't control a dinosaur, put a stun counter on it. Next, do we swing again and lose that Hammerskull? I think probably not. No attacks. And enter. Next turn we have 5 mana. Ooh. Well, that's bad for us. My turn. We can cast the Vorinclex. And we will. It's in our deck. And yep, no attacks for present. Next turn this turn we can cast Etali. They are just we can also cast Chandra. So which do we want to do here? Well, I think let's try Chandra. I don't know that there's anything that's gonna be earth-shattering. And we've got 3 mana left. Yeah. We'll add the 2 mana. Couple green. Bump up. Next turn we can kill Shieldred. We got the Roaming Throne. Yeah, no attacks. Okay, we're going to save the Copperline Gorge. I think, yeah, we're going to -5. Boom, boom. And then we don't have to worry about discarding. And let's play Etali. We will get Shieldred. And Delighted Halfling is the best we got in there. Nice, good game. Well, that worked out really nice. Got great lands. We do not have fantastic early game. We're going to try this though, because we can bring in some ramp with Invasion of Ikoria. And yeah, let's just show green. Opponent also playing green. Next, we do not have any 0 strength stuff. So we can't use Invasion of Ikoria yet, but we will next turn to go get a Delighted Halfling to give us some ramp, and that just puts it into the battlefield. And we've got the potential for a Dino if we can flip it. They swing for 1 and apparently do nothing. We also get Invasion of Ixalan. So we've got a choice here. Do we want to look at the top 5 for a battle with a dinosaur? No, we want to do this because this gets us the Delighted Halfling. Really not a bad deal. It's kind of slow. Search the library. Yep, and the Delighted Halfling. So next turn, if the Delighted Halfling doesn't get axed, we can ramp into Vorinclex. If not, we can Invasion of Ixalan. So it looks like Invasion of Ixalan next turn. If we were to draw a Gwena Eyes of Gia, we would play that, I think. They definitely seem very removal heavy. This would be a good game to have the Rampaging Raptor, that 4/4 haste trample that with some form of fire breathing. It's kind of spendy fire breathing, I think. Oh, actually, see a creature come out. Nazgul may have gone up in value against. Let's actually do this and see what we can find in the top 5. Oh, wow. I think we want Gwena. Yeah. Which, unfortunately, we can't play. I guess we could have done Beanstalk, because we definitely will be able to play Vorinclex next turn. That might have been the better play. Yeah, up to Beanstalk would have drawn us another card. I bring out the 1 ring. We only have Enchantment Destruction with Kogla and Yidaro. They decide to attack. Understand why it was a hard decision. Because potentially having some haste here. They get their 5th land. They draw 1 card with the 1 ring. 3 mana available. Kind of expect them to, remove the Vorinclex and swing for 3. Well, they have the same decision this turn. Am I going to drop something with haste that can take out one of the invasions? They must decide that I can't. They can only see 3 cards. And they correctly deduce that there's not much odds that I have a haste creature, because I probably would have played it last turn. Might as well show them something like that. I can do Kogla Yidaro. Well, Trample and Haste doesn't do much. Oh wait, it totally does. We can get Invasion of Ikoria. Yeah, nice top deck. Gain Trample and Haste. And we go get an 8/8 Dinosaur. I haven't seen this one used in many decks, but it's a great utility card. I haven't put it to much use. I have seen it in a few decks over the months that I've been playing Arena. If we really need to block, we can. They're looking for Gix's command. Edict. Gotcha. Yeah. Kogla has served their purpose. Alright. And again they swing. Or maybe they learned their lesson from last time. Yeah, okay. I'm going to bring out a blocker. We don't have a dinosaur to bring out. We now have 7. Humph. Well, yeah. If we do Gwenna, thinking. If we do Gwenna, then we can do the Triumphant Chomp. Buys us a little time, and we can still activate Mishra's Foundry for an emergency blocker. And we'll destroy that one. They gain 3 life. Resolve. Next to combat. Next to attackers. End turn. Yeah, the mistake of not playing up the beanstalk becomes clear. That would have been drawing us cards, and we presumably would be in quite a bit better board state. Yep, and they draw more removal. Dread Knight, they do more card draw. All right. So much card draw. I think, yeah. Actually, we are now out of forests. And as nice as Restless Ridgeline would be, we want to be able to activate Mishra's Foundry in turn. If we are very lucky, they are out of removal, and we'll be able to... Nope. There it goes. Good game. This looks good enough. Got a little bit of ramp. Actually, a fair amount of ramp. Opponent also has same ramp. Is it Dino v Dino? No. Interesting. Do we can play that next turn. So we will play Inti's Seneschal of the Sun. Gives you, whenever you attack, you may discard a card. When you do, put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature that gains trample. So, yeah, you make me discard. And I'll dump the Pain Land. And we can play this for Dinosaurs. Then we attack. Next, I'll attack. And yes, we will discard a card. We will discard the mountain. It's a +1/+1 counter. Trample. Takes out Liliana. And then we can play additional land this turn. And get a green land. Play up the Beanstalk. Draw a card. And that was a heck of a turn. They are coming. They get a non-land card. Okay. What do we do now? Yeah, we cannot actually... Oh, wait. You could do this and destroy. I think we will do the block thing. We'll attack. We will discard Kogla and Yidaro, which we cannot use right now, and is we do get the land, though, which gets us the Beanstalk Worm and another card. Awesome. Okay. Well, that's big. Well, I think we bring this out. Yeah, I think we do both. Let's see what Up the Beanstalk gets us. The MS works. This is difficult. I think we bring out the throne just as another blocker. Dinosaur as well. And we just hope that we can cast Etali next turn. No attacks. Definitely give them more food for thought. While we've got a moment, let's look at Roaming Throne. It's a 4/4 artifact creature. It's a golem and then becomes a creature of your choice. Then if a triggered ability of another creature you control of the chosen type triggers, it triggers an additional time. So and we don't get what we need. Yep. Well, I think we've got to do this. And then we can't... We could destroy the... We could destroy one of their treasure tokens. Really does not do anything for us. Oh, I was wrong. We could have played Kogla and Yidaro. Oh, that's a big mistake. And no attacks. End turn. Because we could have had it fight 2 creatures. And we definitely want to take out Crucius. They pass their turn. Well, at least now we know what we're going to do if we don't get a land. Oh, and we got a card with a Discover mechanic. Okay. Or do we... Actually, we can play Etali. We definitely want to play Etali. So we get 2 cards, and we get to play 4 cards. Chandra sounds good, and a Delighted Halfling. Yeah, I think we can do both. Well, this is just kind of sick. And can do that. I think we want to do 2 damage to a couple of sources here. Yeah. Pay 2. Boom, boom. No, they're going to protect it. Okay, that's fine. Can do the same thing next turn. Okay, so we can swing for 17, 22. We can swing for lethal. Yeah, I think we do. No, not that one. That throne is too valuable. And 4 attackers. Plenty of chump blockers. Oh, I forgot that that was indestructible. Well, that was a bad attack. Do we want another up the beanstalk? We really don't. It's the first time I've seen Squirming Emergence played. Well, they do have 8 cards in their graveyard. I think thanks to Etali. Alright, we get the Dracosaur. I am going to wait. Yeah, we will play Kogla Yidaro and get a bunch of stuff. I draw the 2 cards. Fight creature you don't control. And then I'll gain trample and haste. Enough of that. Captivating Crossroads. We will choose red. We now, yeah, we can chomp. Oh, I can do it again. And oh, that's right. That's what it is. Okay. We'll add 2 mana. That actually, yeah, a couple of red. I don't think I can actually do anything with it. Next combat. Oh, I could have done the Tali's favor. Sacrifice. They've got 1 blocker. So, is that lethal? 16, 21, 21, 25. They can block 7. Yeah. Good game. Yep, we got a mulligan this one. Demolition Field just has not come through for us. That's better. Okay. Not much in the way of ramp, but we do have some early stuff. So I think we'll get rid of Ixalan, Invasion of Ixalan. We will do red. Now we just hope for land. Charming Scoundrel. That would make Cacophony Scamp irksome. And swing for 3. They don't sacrifice it. We do get a land. Yeah, I think let's try out Discover. Awesome. No attacks. We're going to assume that they can win the race. And unfortunately, I think you gotta block the Cacophony Scamp. Yep. We'll block them both. We've got stuff to do next turn, even if we don't have the ramp. Trade for both. They do 4 damage to us. And they get a couple of rats. Pretty good. Good to see the enchantment control, because that could definitely come up here. Get a blocker out. Which they remove, unsurprisingly. Another Cacophony Scamp. Third Cacophony Scamp. Down to 10. Not looking good for us. And we can block. Bring out the Foundry. If we block one of the scamps, it can do its damage to the Foundry and we lose it. So we'll make them sacrifice it. They do not. That's great. Ren's Resolve. Turns out they do that a bit late. Let's destroy one of the scamps. We go down to 6. Not looking good for us, but hanging on. Still have the Foundry to block something. We bring it out. And oh, they destroy it. Okay. Good game. This'll work. Etali's favor gets another chance. Painland to cast the Delighted Halfling. They do not have an answer. We will choose green, I think. And up the beanstalk, draw a card. Yes, we could have. Ooh, we get Gwenna. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we definitely do Gwenna. And we will actually attack. Cast Gwenna. Now we get to see if they were holding removal for something better than the halfling. Nope. All right, this will be red. Red for that one. And bring out the Hatcher. Triggers both. Have to admit that I did not see the value in that card. And we will smoke the Gorger. Sacrifice an egg. And we will, send the halfling. And let's see. Yep, we will. And don't really need to chomp that one. And block, forced to block, down to 2. Enter. Oh, we could have done Etali's favor? Yeah. That would have actually won the game. This will work. Are we up against mono red? No. Soldiers, perhaps? And what do we do here? Don't have another land to play, so not Beanstalk Worm. Invasion of Ixalan? I don't think so. They are Boros. They destroy our beloved legend. And we pretty much have to do the Invasion of Ixalan at this point, and we'll be looking for a land. Cavern of Souls should be pretty cool, though it does not help us get any of our ramp. Yeah. Dinosaur? And to combat, next, no attacks. Enter. I guess he could have swung it invasion. Oof. No blocks. Come on, land. An untapped land, even. Yeah, then Vorinclex is perfect here. We have more land in our deck. Threaten a big transition, have a big blocker. They actually can bring Benelish Knight Counselor up to 6. That is interesting. We expect Kellen's Light Blades here. I think it's worth doing, though, to get rid of the vendor. There we go. Okay. That is not legendary, so we need the red. And we will bring it out. Oh, and you get the scoop from Bonehoard Dracosaur. Okay, thanks for joining me for the summary. I am really climbing the ladder with this deck. It has some pop, even though we don't have a lot of copies of the biggest cards. Like, we could craft another Palani's Hatcher, and that would go just fine in here. Vorinclex would be kind of a tough drop because we do get some ramp from it, but it really performed. I was surprised how good this card is. It's a little bit silly even. Beanstalk Worm we might want to drop for more dinosaurs. Bonehoard Dracosaur, it just really scares the bejeebers out of people. Yes, I use the word bejeebers. So yeah, you get scoops off of this, and if it sticks, you a win condition. Chandra's Hope's Beacon did great for some removal. Works with the Beanstalk, and it's not too much of a drawback that we don't have a whole lot of instants or sorceries. So her +1 ability is not terribly useful to us, but the +2 and the -X really are. That one won some games for us. Kogla Yidaro, good inclusion. The ability to fight a creature, the trample and haste when you don't have to get something out of the way. The discard ability is really nice. Shamil was fun. I don't think it's necessary for the deck. Like, we could replace this with just a dinosaur. But it does do some fun things. You can just pull the Bonehoard Dracosaur out of anywhere, and people aren't running a whole lot of artifact removal right now. I'm going to keep it in, but yeah, if you don't want to run it, I don't think you need to. Etali is definitely win condition. It's another one that people scoop when they see it, so that's a definite plus for the deck. I don't think it's as critical to the deck as the Bonehoard Dracosaur. Tyrranax Rex was awesome. I love this card. Another one you could put in is Galta Stampede Tyrant. I may have to experiment with this one. I just picked it up and didn't make it into the gameplay, so I'm gonna try this out as well. If you've got a copy, it definitely goes in. Roaming Throne. Gosh, with all the tribal stuff, that if you are a tribal player, this is a definite craft as well. Because, yeah, you can slot this into all sorts of decks. In fact, I've got a human deck coming up that this makes much better. Hulking Raptor is also an awesome card. I don't know if it would necessarily replace Invasion of Zendikar. I think that's what I would do if I had more copies of it. But I'm not sure you want to short yourself too much because, Hulking Raptor can be removed. And Pugnacious Hammerskull works really well in the deck, being over 5 power, early drop, doesn't necessarily need the ramp, gets you a huge blocker that Mono Red has lots of trouble with in time to really affect the game. Etali's Favor. I think this is kind of underrated. I think it's kind of been overlooked by folks. I really like this card, especially if you haven't gotten your ramp going. This will generally do the trick for you. It's like go get the answer, and most of the 3 drops are exactly what you need in that case. Invasion of Ikoria is an exception to this. I'm going to remove this card, partially because the Discover thing not working. Like, if you get Invasion of Ikoria, you don't get to use its primary ability, getting something and putting it on the battlefield. X is 0. So this really opposes the Discover mechanic, which I really like. So yeah, it's going out for me. And we'll put in, I think we'll put in another copy of Up the Beanstalk instead. Inti's Seneschal of the Sun is a really fun card. The discard ability is pretty darn cool, and it doesn't have to be Inti that's attacking. So you can give something trample with it, which is awesome because there are a number of our dinosaurs that don't have it. And you get to discard a card and then exile the top card of your library, so you have the rummage effect. I'm going to leave it in for now. I don't see any reason to take it out. Triumphant Chomp was just silly sometimes, and the ramp package was great. I could stick with this deck, and I think I would be at Mythic today. Thanks so much for joining me for the whole video. If you've watched this far and you haven't liked or subscribed, I encourage you to do so. It would really help me out. Please check out the deck on Moxfield. I've got the link in the description. And if you try this out, leave me a comment. Let me know how it went. And also, what you liked about the video, what you'd like to see, what you didn't like. Until next time, may Magic the Gathering Alchemy turn your day golden.